Good afternoon. This is James Silverstone from Eastern Area Coordination Center. I will get going with the Training Tuesday in about a minute here. Sounds like somebody's phone is not muted. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to get going here. This is James Silverstone. This is the first in our series of Intel Training Tuesday webinars. And I'm still getting background noise. Please mute your phone. Anyhow, I am the intelligence coordinator at the Eastern Area Coordination Center. And this is a very short webinar, and it's on common ICS 209 errors. And also I'm going to talk a little bit about places in the program where folks get hung up. And if you have any questions, either post something in chat or post it in the training, the question panel. Okay. I am first going to talk about block 8. That's the percent contained or to be completed. And this is a place for folks, they fill it out, but they put the wrong thing in there. If you look at this example, you see the fire is showing 10% contained here in block 8. And if you look in block 9, this is a full suppression fire. So, the objective of the fire is to contain it 100%, and they're showing the percent or perimeter to be contained is 70%. And this is confusing to some people, but if it's a full suppression fire, where it says 70% there, percent to be contained, we're looking for 100%. So I look at that part of block 9 as what's your objective for the fire? The objective is this is a full suppression fire, and we want to contain this 100%. So in many, many cases, this should be 100%. If you're going to partly monitor the fire or some of it is point zone suppression, maybe your objective would be, we contain the fire at 70%, the other 30% is point zone suppression, so we're going to call it good. But just remember, it's a suppression fire. This part of block 8 should be 100%. That's a pretty common error there. And next I want to talk about, it's not really an error, but people get hung up here. If you look at the incident start date, the fire started on the 10th, and the program will not let you put for, the time you're reporting to be before the start date. That doesn't make sense. So this field generates a lot of calls to the help desk or the Intel coordinator because, we get the phone calls, well, it's not taking my report time, and that's because, you're trying to put a report time for the operational period for the 209 that occurred before the fire even started. So if you're getting hung up on that field, just look at your start date and look at the time and the date you're trying to report. That's a place where folks get hung up. And location. This is a big one. I see a lot of these. If you look at the location, this is just a part of a 209 block 25. It says southeast of Ade, Lawrence County. And in block 25, what we are looking for is the distance and direction from the closest town. And in block 25, people put everything. They might put a landmark, they might put a county or whatever. And what happens with that, say under preparedness level 5, National Coordination Center, they might be getting over 80 209s a day, and a large percentage of those 209s don't have a good location, and they put that location in the incident management situation report. And this is just a snapshot from the incident management situation report. They want the miles and direction from the closest town. So what they end up doing is going to Google Earth and having to figure out the closest community for several fires, and it takes a lot of time away from completing the IMSR. And I was going to show you a, because I know dispatchers and people are busy, and I was going to show you a shortcut. I'm trying to share my screen. Okay, can you folks see my screen? Yes. Okay. I'm just going to jump on to Google. And the lat long for this fire was 38, 36, 46 by 82, 25, 31. So just a real quick shortcut. I'm just going to put the lat long into Google. And separate the lat long by a comma. And the longitude is always negative, so it's minus 82 space 25 space 31, and enter. And this is kind of a quick and dirty shortcut. If you have time, use Google Earth, and you can use their measuring tool. Anyhow, here's our fire, and just to the southwest is the town of Ade, AID, and you can see the scale, it's about 1 inch a mile. So, just eyeballing, I could say, you know what, that's about 5 or 6 miles. Anyhow, if you don't have time to use Google Earth, that's a shortcut. I'm bringing the PowerPoint back up. Okay, any questions on location? But yeah, this is real typical, and people put all kinds of things in block 25. And people sometimes get confused with the fuel model. And if you look at what was entered here, it says the fuel model is Southern Rough, which is something you might possibly see in Florida. And they're saying the adjacent fuels are juniper and mountain mahogany. And, you know, the juniper and mountain mahogany don't grow in that part of the world. So make sure your fuel model is correct. And this is just an example for critical resource needs. They put, they need 10 Type 9 engines, and there's no such thing as a Type 9 engine. So just, you know, try to be accurate, and, you know, what you got from the SIT unit leader, you know, maybe they were in a rush and, you know, they meant like Type 6 engines. And here, this happens a lot. Somebody will put in extra zeros, or put the decimal point in the wrong place, and under block 45, estimated cost to date, this is showing the cost of the fire is $50 million, which, boy, that's a very expensive fire. But very typical to put extra zeros or put the decimal point in the wrong place, and in cost, and also in acres. Sometimes people put in extra zeros. So watch your zeros and decimal points. And also common problems, submittal requirements not met. They either didn't submit a 209 for their large fire, or you know, they didn't update it, or, you know, the information is old, you know, it's not current information. And a lot of times folks make mistakes with committed resources. They might put the wrong agency or get the count wrong. And visiting incident management teams, say if it's an out of geographic area team that you're hosting in your geographic area, before they get there, usually, you know, the SIT unit leader is supposed to call the hosting GAC to get access to the SIT 209 program, because you know, once they move out of the GAC, they no longer have access unless they contact the hosting GAC. Any questions on that? And where do we go for help? Drop-down buttons on a lot of the blocks or fields in the 209. There's drop-down buttons where you have a choice of, you know, the correct entry to put in that block. Quick reference instructions. When I finish this slide, I'll show you what they mean by the quick reference instructions. But when you hover your mouse over a field on the 209 program, a little balloon pops up, you know, which gives you a little hints or help about how to fill out that field. And the user guide. The user guide is online, and you can link to it from the 209 program, and I will show you where to find that. And the next level up, that would be your friendly GAC Intel coordinator. You know, we like to help. And the Fire Application Help Desk. Okay, now I'm going to go into the program. Okay, this is the home page of the SIT 209. Once you logged in, when you log in, make sure you see your name in the top right corner. And if you see here on the left, here's the link to the user guide. And all the Intel coordinators worked on this user guide, and it's very comprehensive. And let's go into the program. And I'm just going to show you a few things on the program. I'm not going to show you how to fill out a whole 209. But you go to 209, data entry. And since I'm at the geographic area, I'm going to put in the geographic area. And you can see here on the left, there's, and I'm in the FAM test program where people can go and practice. And if you need access to that, talk to your geographic area Intel coordinator. They'll hook you up with FAM test access. Anyhow, if you look here, there's 1209 that's been approved. And there's this other 209, the Long Creek. And you can see on the right, is showing draft. Draft means they started it but did not complete it, did not approve it. And one thing I run into when people call me for help is, I call this a slider, but it's a pane that you can move around. And sometimes the pane is covering the approved and draft. Well, it's not doing it there. But anyhow, it's covering part of the field where you can't see if it's approved or a draft, so just pull it out. But anyhow, what we're going to do is complete this Long Creek fire. So what I'm going to do is open it. And most of this has already been completed. I'm just going to approve it and show you a couple more things. But remember, we talked about there's some quick reference material on here. All you do is hover over the field, and it gives you good information about how to fill in that field. And I'm just going to tab over to approval. And say we completed our 209. We just need to finish it and approve it. And I just wanted to, some people get a little confused about this. The prepared by, say if you have an incident management team on the fire, a lot of times that will be the situation unit leader. Or if it's, just a local fire and you're a dispatcher filling it out, the prepared by will be you. And the approved by incident management team could be the plan section chief. A lot of times it's the incident commander. Say if you don't have a team on that fire, it's local fire, maybe a type 3 incident, approved by could be your center manager. Anyhow, I completed my 209 and I am ready to approve it, and the approve should be active, but it's not letting me approve. And this is where some people get hung up. You need to verify it, but there's a little verify pane here that is hidden. So I'm going to pull that out so I can see my error messages. I'm going to click verify. And you can see there's a couple of errors that popped up. And I'm just going to clear them all. First error is go to block 45. The cost to date is required. So these are hot links, so they'll take you to where you need to go. Estimated cost to date. Let's see. I'm putting 5,000 estimated cost to date. I'm projecting the final cost will be 10,000. I'm going to save, and we'll verify again. And that cleared out that error message. Also got a error message complexity level, block 10. So let's go to block 10. And a lot of these errors are we failed to fill out that field. Not necessarily anything wrong, but it will not let you approve it till you clear all of these. And block 10, complexity level. Let's say it's type 3 incident. We will save it. And verify. And let's just go to block 38, additional decision. We'll do that. And this fire is just about done. I'm just going to put no threat. We'll save it. And the only thing left, there's one warning, and this comes up on every 209. They want you to confirm that the field for the incident management organization that you put in the correct entry, because typically what people do, because they're in a rush, say it might be a type 2 IC on there. Anyhow, they'll put an incident management team. So this block just wants you to double check what you put in that field and confirm that it's correct. If it's correct, you check it. And now you see my approval icon is active. We will approve it. Okay, and this is it's the FAM test program, and I'm getting some kind of Irwin error. And anyhow, that's beyond the scope of this class. It should have approved. And now I'm going to stop sharing my screens. And any questions on what I just covered? I'm looking at one question. Do I want the position of the person and approving? I'm looking. On the 209 form, we don't need their position. Any other questions? Oh, I got another one. Okay, on the 209 guide, I know that we're working on it, but as far as I know, there are not any huge updates to it. And also the 209 program, we completely revamped it and redid it. I'm thinking must be 6 or 7 years ago. So the program we have now, I would say, is good for at least another 5 years or so before there's really any major changes, because the program is still fairly new. And actually, I'm on the SIT 209 change board, and we're getting to the point where we almost have like all the bugs out of the program. I mean, it's almost zero. It's getting close. Any other questions? Anyhow, if no other questions, thanks participating in this, and I hope it was useful. We'll be doing other ones. Folks. '22. And we will